Yeah, running for me would be the same feeling as a young person would when they get their first set of wheels on their bike and they're riding a bike. Well, running's the kind of same feeling. I wasn't able to run on my prosthetics till I was 28 because there was no prosthetics around to be able to do that. So the opportunities that it gave me later on in my career was something that there were new life experiences. When you've got a physical or mental or learning impairment, then you kind of work things out at a different pace. And that pace may be slower or maybe faster or at different times in your life. And it's important that you have people around you that understand that kind of pace. Because you don't want to waste life, but also you want to take those opportunities when you can. Introduce myself. Richard Whitehead, Paralympic gold medalist, athlete, father, run a bit, train a lot, enjoy life, try to be better every day. I think it's important that we aspire to be better and believe that anything's possible. In 2004, I ran my first marathon in New York for Macmillan Cancer Relief in memory and to support my friend Simon Mellows and to support other people that were less fortunate than themselves and use my disability as a positive.
Nice. And how many have you run since then?
A lot, yeah, a lot. I don't know, 70 or so. I don't know. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I did run 40 and 40 and then probably about 70. About that. I just stopped counting after I did more than my fingers on my hands. Yeah. So when I was told that there wasn't my classification event in London 2012, that was one of those key moments in life that I could have said, my story stops here, where I chose it not to define me as a person and saw the 200 metres as a challenge, not just for myself athletically, but also personally. 200 metres and a marathon, a massive difference in time, obviously time to complete the event, and also you run halfway around a track where 26 miles you run a lot around cities. And obviously when I started the process it was changing things gradually, but the mindset was always to try my best and to put a lot of hard work in to be successful. So yeah, a lot of chicken and eggs, a lot of training on tracks, a lot of finding out how to be the best athlete on the track I could be. For me it was, obviously because of how I run slightly different to an able-bodied athlete, is trying to find the best way to get as fast as I could over 200 metres, which was tough. It was life-changing. In 2012, I won gold medal in front of 80,000 people, and that represented not only 30 plus years of hard work, but also was a representation of the people that had supported and helped me in becoming the best person that I could be. And it was not only something that I could take home and cherish for myself and my family, but also part of Nottingham was part of that success. So 2012 for me was not just about my own success, but it's also about the community that had worked with me in being successful. I wouldn't say that I'm a rebellious person. I would say I'm seen as an athlete that pushes the boundaries of what's possible and changes people's perceptions of what rebellious actions are. and rebellion isn't a word that should be pigeonholed into disloyal, unlawful. It should be a word that challenges people to be better. Being rebellious is challenging people's perceptions, and that's what people with disabilities do every day. Definitely. And I still do, at 44. At 44, jeez, 44 is old, right? I was just thinking there, like, obviously, like being somebody that was at school here, in probably like 15, 16 years old, and imagining what I'd be when I left school, and maybe it'd be somebody within sport, but not understanding what that journey would look like. Yeah, it's been ups and downs, right? So we're actually walking down, like you do, your local main street in Loudon. This is Loudon, where I was born and raised, and yeah, I've just spent a lot of time as a youngster growing up with my family, and as we'll see later, I went to school here. When I was growing up, it was obviously not seeing other disabled people like myself was quite tough, and obviously opportunities are then like self-made. If you've not seen and believing that things are possible, then it's quite hard to understand how the journey is going to start and finish. And so yeah, really tough. I think my parents saw the power of sport as something that was important to me as a youngster growing up, and to maybe challenge some of the preconceptions of what is possible as a disabled person. We're now just outside the Loudon CV Primary School. It's obviously just like a local primary school. For me, I've said before that I never had a silver spoon in my mouth. My parents were advocates for kind of seeking out those challenges in life and kind of going at them head on. And through that, I think that's where my learning process started. It wasn't necessarily through education, it was through experience. It was more about kind of understanding that these people in authority might be putting challenges in front of me, and my family were accepting them and trying to change the environment, not just for me but also for the disability community in the area. Obviously, when you're like the best swimmer in the class, and then you're having to have people in the water with you to support you, even though you're the best person in that area, it's ridiculous.
Oh, because they just didn't understand.
Health and safety and all that kind of bollocks, yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah. I had to have somebody in the water with me.
even though you could swim?
Yeah, even though, yeah. It was ridiculous, yeah. And like, they wouldn't let me do gymnastics because obviously I was wearing prosthetics. Yeah, it's ridiculous, yeah. And that's a kind of attitude. If you've got somebody that's a headmaster that's ill-advised and uneducated as that, it becomes very hard to change the environment for the children, because you know that unless you are in a village like this, a white boy or girl that hasn't got a disability, then anything's going to be tough. If you're from any different religious background, if you've got a disability, if you're a different colour, then obviously it's going to be really tough. And I think that was very apparent from looking back over my, obviously I didn't know at the time because I was too young, but looking back at my career education pathway maybe, that it's evident that it wasn't inclusive at all. The world is a challenging place, and I think physically and mentally, and it's about having those reframing moments to come out of it, learning about yourself and learning about your community, and understanding that there's still hope in the world, and trying to grasp that, and not being afraid to be brave and being better. People with disabilities challenge people's perceptions of what can and can't be done, and having a more diverse environment also challenges not just the person with a disability, but also the able-bodied community as well. Whatever I do in my life, I want to feel that I'm becoming better every day, and if you're taking a back seat in life, I'm not sure how enriched you'll feel personally and emotionally. When people kind of gravitate towards my success, they see that obviously I've had some physical challenges to overcome, and I've been successful just through hard work and graft and just working hard. I think Nottingham's definitely a working city, that people that have been successful in Nottingham have had to work for their success. Every step forward is a step further forward towards your goal, and that's why the marathon's obviously something that I'm passionate about, because every step that I'm taking forwards, I'm getting towards the finish line, and I've still got a lot of footsteps to take before I actually finish.
How are people and how are you rebellious?
Well, just do whatever I want to do, you know what I mean? Just do whatever, that's it. No, I'm not Robin Hood. I don't even like green. You know what I mean? I think rebellion for me is more about, it's about a mindset, isn't it? And not having that silver spoon placed in your mouth, and making your own journey, and making mistakes is all part of that, and learning from those mistakes, but also realising that you're continually growing as a person, and without people that are rebellious within society, everything becomes a bit too fluffy.